Well, hello and welcome to another video by Financial Learning. On today's video, we're going to take a look at CleanSpark Inc.'s month of January mining numbers. That's right, the month is over, the numbers are in. We're going to take a look at their wallet address, and then we're going to calculate the average amount of Bitcoin mined per day. We're going to look at that monthly high number, and then we're going to see, were they profitable for the month of January? We're going to take a look at some of the previous costs of operations they've shared in filings. So all that said, let's get right into it. All right, jumping into this, let's go ahead and unpack it a little bit. On the left-hand side, you're gonna find information from their wallet address. That's what I'm using in order to calculate the monthly numbers. And then on the far right-hand side, you're gonna see a snippet from their December press release. This is where I'm getting their December HODL number at 9,952. And then at the bottom, you can see there in orange, that's some of that cost to mine Bitcoin, as well as some of the other costs of operations that they've shared in their previous earnings report. So we're using that now. It's an estimate. They will be providing an earnings later on this month for the December ending quarter, so we can use that moving forward. But taking a look in this middle table here, first off, look at average Bitcoin mined. It's sitting at 20.156 Bitcoin, and then you can see bolded February 1st, which is actually going to be the last day for their January monthly numbers. They actually hit 22.85. It's the second highest number of Bitcoin mining in a single day that they've done since the halving event. And then taking a look there middle to late January, you can see from January 21st to about January 27th, there was a little bit of a slump in Bitcoin numbers mined daily, and that had to do with that Arctic storm that hit the states of Georgia, Tennessee, and really most of the continental US. An executive did speak on behalf of this issue and mentioned that they did decide to power down some of their miners in order to provide grid stability for the utility provider, for all of the folks there in Georgia and Tennessee, to ensure that they would not be without power or heat during this Arctic storm. And this is something that was already announced in terms of the number of days at which they may or may not be Bitcoin mining. So they were expecting about 200 or so Bitcoin for the entire year in terms of writing off, not necessarily as a loss, I shouldn't call it that, but as a reduction in the expectation. And that's just due to situations like this, whether it's a natural disaster such as a hurricane or a major winter storm, or just maybe some maintenance on some of their equipment. So this was expected. This is part of their revenue plan for their fiscal year. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at these numbers. All right, and then looking at that current Bitcoin price, I'm using the price as of today. It's at $101,199 per Bitcoin, and taking a look at what that does for the month of January mining. That revenue amount would be $63,233,000. And then looking at the December HODL plus the January numbers mined, you can see the estimated HODL total. I say estimated because we don't know how much Bitcoin has been sold in the month of January. We will find out when they put out their mining metrics official press release in the days to come. But looking at that estimated HODL total, it could be sitting at 10,576, which provides them $1,070,368,000. So that is a significant amount of Bitcoin treasury they have there in their HODL. So I am very interested to see how they will be using that in the months to come. They did mention trying to get together some form of a Bitcoin, kind of like a holding desk, if you will, really looking at different financial opportunities to be able to get some kind of interest, some type of yield off of this Bitcoin HODL. And then one last thing I did want to point out is going to be that profit margin. So as you can see down at the bottom, I have the cost to mine Bitcoin still sitting at $36,250 per coin. We will be getting an update whenever this December ending earnings report comes out later on this month in February. But for now, that's what I'm using. And then based off of the total number of Bitcoin mined in the month of January, you can see that just for the actual cost to mine Bitcoin, it was $22,650,000. And then looking at the professional fees, payroll, and the G&A expenses, this is from their earnings report. I went ahead and took out to what it would be for a monthly occurrence. And then you're gonna see total monthly cost estimate. It comes in at $32,491,000. So almost 50% profit margin for CleanSpark based off of these estimates. So again, profit margin at $30,742,000. All right, and one other thing I figured I'd throw in here since we are talking about earnings seasons for CleanSpark is just a couple of estimates. We still haven't heard from the investor relations page exactly when CleanSpark plans to release that, but just by looking at a couple of these websites, I want to take a look with you all. You can see from bitcoinminingstock.io, it says that they have an estimated earnings date of February 7th. Moving down to Yahoo Finance, it could be anywhere from February 6th to February 10th. Fidelity has them coming in at February 6th with an EPS actually positive 0.21. So I'm excited to see if that actually comes out because a lot of the other estimates have them coming in at a negative EPS, which I just don't see that considering most of the impairments was already taken last fiscal year. And then taking a look at the last 10Q for that same December end back in 2023, you can see at the very bottom here, they actually put this out on February 8th. So that's just a couple of the days. I would assume sometime this week, we should be getting the official earnings for CleanSpark. So I am very much excited. I will be breaking down that with you all, and we'll be able to get an update on that cost of mining, get a better idea about that balance sheet. How are they doing on the cost of operations, their G&A, and all those other line items. And I can't wait to hear about some of the other forward events, things that took place between December 31st and the day of filing. I love when CleanSpark puts that information out there. It does give us a little sneak peek into what this quarter has going on from an activity standpoint. All right, and with all that said, I hope you guys all really enjoyed this quick update on CleanSpark's January mining numbers. We will get that official press release in a couple more days, but I just couldn't help myself but taking a look at that wallet and analyzing it for you all. Also, we took a quick look at when we could expect earnings, and it does look like CleanSpark was profitable in the month of January. So I'd like to hear from you all. Please let me know, do you think that I'm missing anything in terms of that cost to mine the Bitcoin, the cost of operations? I did my best to make sure that I account for everything. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like I mentioned, drop a comment. I love to hear from you all. And with that said, hope you all have a great rest of the day, and I'll see you on the next one.